Are you back with us yet?
I am back. It's just some technical difficulties.
Well, that's because you're recording from a new location tonight. So you had to sort of like get everything set. And you're you're literally on an island. So that might have something to do with it. Not like a tropical island, folks, just an island here in the Chesapeake.
Yeah. On a little peninsula. And it reminded me of that one guest back in Below Deck that was super angry trading stocks. Penny stocks with no Wi-Fi.
Yes. Oh my God. That tells you how much times have changed, right?
Yeah.
You got those guys doing penny stocks and then now it's like all Bitcoin and shit, right?
Yep. It's crazy.
People don't play the stock market and the penny stocks the way they did in whatever that was, 2013
or so. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know, because I took a break from the OG for a little while because I watched some further episodes that they were showing on Bravo, and then I switched over. It was like the end of a day, and I kept trying to put, one of those nights where you're like putting different shows on, and you're like, no, I can't get into this right now.
You have to be like in the mood for something in particular.
Yeah, and everything required was like that I wanted to see was like required more attention than I was able to pay at the moment, like because I was tired, all that stuff, right? So I ended up, I'm like, I want to put something like that I don't have to think about. I'm like, okay, well, that's Below Deck. But I was kind of like over the OG at the moment. I needed a break from Kate and Hot Jesus and all of that. I just needed a break from it. And I'm, all caught up on Sailing Yacht. And I really didn't feel like dealing with Captain Sandy's nonsense. So I decided to try Adventure. There's only one season of it. Well, you don't like Sailing Yacht, which is a little bit different vibe. It's a little chiller. It's a little bit like, I don't know what the word is you want to use for it. It's a little more gritty. You know how Sailing Yacht is a little more gritty.
I like gritty stuff. I'm trying to figure out why I don't like it.
Because you haven't seen, because it's been boring so far. It's just like.
No, I've been watching the old episodes. I've watched season 2 and season 3. I'm finishing season 3 now. And I just, maybe it's.
Gary still hasn't grown on you?
Well, he's getting there. He's like every ex that I used to date, like the player, the fun guy. Like, he reminds me of everyone that cheated on me. And but I'm like trying to figure out why I don't like it as much. And I'm not saying I don't like it. Maybe it's because I started with the Below Deck OG, or I like the individual people, but collectively I'm not vibing with them so much as I was like Kate and Captain Lee. Oh, I love Captain Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. Cause like there's a time period where I stopped, and you're totally, by the way, you're totally frozen on my screen here. So I can't see what you're doing or anything.
I'm moving around. Can you hear it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Put a pillow under my head.
No, that's fine. When I see, I was like right where you are, right? Like where, bunch of seasons of Captain Lee and Kate and that whole dynamic and, other people in and out and stuff. And then Eddie comes back or whatever, but Eddie's gone for a while. So I got to the point where like when Kate left, I was like, it's like the first season she didn't come back is when I took a break from it, I think.
I don't blame you. I love her.
Because I loved that all of that so much. And I was so disappointed. Like I was like, oh, it was like a letdown for me. And now I'm going back to it and I'm loving it all. But,
and I love the dynamic between her and Ben.
Well,
like, I love Ben. So
they're still like besties.
Yeah.
See, I feel like Ben is very much like Gary, though. Just, you know what I mean? Like good at their job, and then they get drunk at night and start having sex with everybody. Like, I bet
Ben is better in bed. I can tell. I just know. Ben has got smooth talking moves. I just know. He's charismatic. Oh, love. Hi, love.
You think he's that good in bed? You think the thing I wonder with him is because he is, he is so posh and stuff. And he came from a really posh area in London and went to posh schools and all of this stuff. He's very like, oh. So he talks about like Emily Ems as a proper English girl, which they dated like off the boat for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. And I was disillusioned with all of that. I didn't want to watch it anymore because I'm like, Ben in real life is dating somebody else and Kate's gone. And like, well, I was like all mad at everybody going on and having lives, right?
And Kate's pregnant. Well, I think she had her baby.
And she won't say who the father is. And she just says that she's raising the baby single as a single. Yep. So
I hear you, Kate. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like this episode was kind of boring.
I didn't think so, because I think it's like you started to see the dynamics, the personality dynamics on the ship. Now that the ship's moving and you're seeing more, and now that Gary's there, of course, and everybody's
definitely Gary makes good TV for sure.
Yeah, and you can see the automatic personality shift, the change in the vibe, right? Like all of a sudden he's like, what's his name? Chase can't do anything, right?
Here we go again, right?
It's like, right. So I don't know. Anyway, so the adventure one is different. It's a completely different vibe there as well. It's definitely not OG, and I think it's even more chill than the sailing ones. But it's interesting. I'm intrigued. I'll watch. There's only one season.
Where do they go in the season?
They're all in Norway.
Oh, Norway.
Yeah. So they're the fjords of Norway, and it's gorgeous, of course. But there's interesting dynamics amongst the crew, and everybody's single, and everybody generally works hard, and so it's kind of like it's interesting to see how this plays out. I always get frustrated at the seasons where there's always like when there's a person who isn't interested in working at all. You know what I mean? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
And that frustrates me, because it's like that's what the problem is. The problem isn't that they have an interesting personality, which I am interested in. The problem is they just have no work ethic, because they're 21 and just don't really want to work. And listen to direction. Those people frustrate me. And this season doesn't seem to have any of those.
No, nobody's complaining yet, that's for sure.
Except everybody's, the stews are getting along. The ones who don't know what they're doing are, they know they don't know what they're doing, and they want to learn, and they're accepting guidance and all of this stuff. And there's no like battles of power yet. Although you're seeing now with, like I said, with Gary, this whole dynamic, running the deck with Chase and all that. So you're starting to see some of the dynamics. So let's just get into the whole recap. There's not a whole lot to recap.
Not a lot of good quality crazy television.
Not a ton that happened.
We're talking about season 4, episode 3. The King is back.
Gary.
Yes. On the previous episode, we see the crew waiting for Gary to return. Colin fixing the engine, and angry guests saying that they didn't get toilet paper and towels, which we already
they annoyed the hell out of me. I watched the episode because they were playing them.
Oh, I did too. I made my friend watch it.
I was doing the rewatch, and I was like, God, she pisses me off even more this time.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do this in Florida, bitch. Go home to Florida and do it then.
And we see everyone making out with everyone.
Oh my God. I had the TV paused right there because the show was about to start, and Hetero Life Mate and Baby Stepfrada had walked in the door because today is Baby Stepfrada's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Baby Stepfrada.
They were all having dinner, so they walked in the door. Right as it was, so I paused it so I could, talk to them and everything. And it was paused on that scene. And she's like, why are you watching a show that everyone's making out? Because she saw it as I was pausing it. And I'm like, I can't even explain. I said, because they're young and stupid and drunk. She's like, well, don't get drunk and don't do stupid things. Like the wisdom of a 14-year-old.
Exactly.
But yes, why am I watching this show where everyone's making out? Because they're young and drunk and stupid. And every episode reminds me why I'm glad I'm sober, because I was that person. I was Lucy. Lucy fell off that bed and had that big old scratch on her back.
That was gnarly. That's gnarly.
That is me to a T. I break bones. I have road rash. I get all kinds of, I fall and trip and break things all the time. And it turns out largely just me in general.
Mm-hmm.
But it was way worse when I was drinking. So
I can imagine, because you fell on like you fall sober. So like
yeah,
I can imagine how.
The difference is when I'm sober, it's like I fall up going upstairs.
Okay.
And then when I'm drunk, I'm falling downstairs and into things. Different. So anyway, so
well, we see Chase and he says he's a redneck city guy, and it's crazy to him how everyone's partying. And I was like, oh, this little innocent young man on the boat.
He is not that innocent.
Yeah, I know, right? Mads
he's that like 18-year-old kid from like, you know that scene in Friday Night Lights where the football players go to the strip club?
Nope, never seen it.
Okay, well, the high school football players go to the strip club and are just drunk and rowdy and stupid. That's this kid. That's Chase. Anyway.
Well, Mads is puking. We see Lucy falling off the top bunk, and Daisy being the nurturing caretaker by putting up the bed protector so she can't fall off. Okay, I'm going to put this up, okay?
That bed protector. Oh my God. Yeah, that's why I'd have to be in a bottom bunk.
Yeah.
Because I can't be climbing in and out of a top bunk. There's just no way.
Favorite part of this episode, though, was when Alex is so drunk he tries to put the water on Captain Glenn's head.
Oh my God, yes. He thinks it's like his bedside table. I mean,
he's like,
drunk. It's like second or third night or whatever.
Yeah, it was great.
He has his water bottle and he goes to put it next to his bed.
Oh my God, I almost died. I literally laughed out loud. I was like, this is hilarious.
And he's like, Captain Glenn is, it's always funny the way people, when people get startled out of sleep, how they react.
Yeah.
Like one of my dogs, when she gets startled out of sleep, she jumps up and runs away, like all of a sudden. Then she realizes, oh wait, okay, hold on, and it'll come back. Captain Glenn was like, what's this? Why do I need? What is this? Why do I have this? Why is this here?
It's so interesting because Captain Glenn has this presence that's very calming. Like you don't see him get super, super angry often. He's just very calm in a lot of situations. Like if it were me and somebody was putting a water bottle in my head, I would go off. I'd be like, get the fuck out. I'm sleeping. Leave me alone.
That's why I'm saying it's interesting to see what people's personalities are.
Yeah.
When they're startled out of a sleep. Yeah, I think
Captain Glenn. I was like laughing too when Captain Glenn said that him and Gary are like an old married couple.
Oh yeah, it's nice. He has his right hand back. Yeah, he knows the boat and stuff. So I was perusing the Reddits. And it actually wasn't really perusing them. I had gotten an email, the email you get from Reddit, it's like a summary or whatever. And I saw something about Below Deck and Daisy's demeanor on her Instagram stories. And I was like, huh? Because I follow Daisy, so I see her Instagram stories. I've been watching them. She's been on vacation on a boat. Like she's got great boobs. And yeah, I'd still fuck her, and people are like, there was some commentary there that she had answered like some Q&A stuff where she was saying basically like almost that she regrets the season, like the season was really hard on her and like a lot of stuff. And people were speculating, that Captain Glenn was different this time. And so I'm like, well, like more acting up and like, how he yelled at Daisy about the ice and stuff. Although that to me was just in the spur of the moment. That's what happens on boats, right? Yeah. You're yelling and screaming because things have to happen right now, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't think of it was anything bad. So hopefully the people on Reddit are wrong because I don't want to see Captain Glenn make a turn towards Captain Lee because I like that it's different. I mean, I love Captain Lee, but you can't Captain Lee. You know what I mean?
No, he is.
You can't out-captain him. It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
The captain on the Norwegian, they just call him Carrie. They don't even call him Captain, whatever. They just call him Carrie. He's from Australia.
Super informal. Yeah.
You got to make sure, like, well, my TV, my Apple TV, which is how I watch, Peacock streaming and stuff, does it where like the subtitles where it'll do it automatically if it thinks you need it with its like super special whatever algorithms. And since all these people there's like maybe one American and only because she was born in like She was born in Seattle, like area, Washington, but she said she relocated, her family relocated to Costa Rica when she was like 10. And she's got this weird, crazy accent that another girl thinks she's just making up. So it's kind of funny. But everybody has accents, and so it's hard to understand them. So you see these subtitles popping up everywhere just so you can understand them.
That's what I need to do. Put on the subtitles.
Yeah. It can be helpful. Anyway, so
yeah.
Glenn is back.
Glenn is back.
And they take the boat out for sea trials.
Yes.
To test Colin's magic trickery of the engine to fix it.
And Gary, of course, is like leading the team and showing them what they need to do. And Alex is excited about that. And he feels like he's learning a lot from Gary, which I still think Alex is super sexy. Oh, I do not mind looking at him. Anywho, and then Alex says that Daisy was the best kisser out of all of the women.
Ooh.
I was like, okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then of course she was like, I don't want to make out with a junior deckhand or whatnot.
I know. She's like, oops.
Okay, so the charter guests.
Yes.
Let's talk about this because was that Justin Guarini from American Idol?
Was it?
His name was Justin, and I looked him up, and he has short hair now, and he's light skinned, and I couldn't tell if like that was his wife or not based on like my Instagram or my searches of her.
I'd have to watch the episode again or go back to that section.
They never said it though, right? They never said.
They showed the preference sheets, and they usually page through all of the charter guests. Yeah. So we'll have to stop on that one and look.
We'll have to look because my friend, I didn't record it on his DVR, so I couldn't rewind it. I don't know how to work it. I have no idea. So I was like, well, I missed that part. But and I was looking at him, I was like, Matt, is that Justin from American Idol? He's like, I have no idea who you're talking about. Like,
he doesn't know.
I was like, never mind. Then I go on like Google and I show him a picture. I was like, is this Justin from American Idol? I was like, I still don't know who you're talking about. It's like, never mind. Okay.
Never mind.
So if anybody knows if that's Justin from American Idol, I'm pretty sure it was him.
Okay. Who brought 8 shirts that needed to be ironed for his birthday.
Do you mind hanging up my luggage? And that or whatever.
8 shirts. She's like, I have to iron 8 shirts? Like it's a 2-day cruise. Like what? What?
And then I think it was really cool how they wanted to invite everyone to eat like a buffet style dinner for the crew. I thought that was super sweet.
Yeah. I mean, it put a lot of stress on them and Ileisha in a different way. Like I can see why it was good. I mean, I think it was good. Overall, it was good. But at the same time, doing so kind of made things harder.
Right.
I mean, and your point was to, we want to acknowledge you and, we got to be humble and things like that.
Yeah, I liked that.
So yeah, and it seemed genuine and authentic. They seemed, not like we're just gonna like, will you eat with us? You plebes, you below, you know what I mean? It didn't seem that way. And of course now at this point we've only seen like half the charter, right? We haven't seen the other half yet.
Not even. And it was cool too because you could tell like the crew was very calm and happy, and it looked like it was like Colin that said he had never in the 15 years he started Yachts had ever been invited to a dinner with the guests. So that was cool.
Yeah. And they all seemed to like it and think it was genuine. So that was really cool.
And then Gary says he can't eat with them because his social skills are terrible. I was like, yeah, right.
But he does. Alex is the only one that didn't because he was sleeping because he had to get that sleep because he was doing the overnight shift, which we see. And then, of course, now we're starting to see the age-old battle between the overnight person and the day person. The day person always says the overnight person doesn't do enough.
Yep.
And it's mess.
The same in the serving business too. Like bartenders that close and bartenders that open, like the closing bartender didn't do anything, didn't clean. And then the opening or the closing bartender be like, the opening bartender didn't stock and cut fruit. It's like, it's every service.
Exactly. And these guys rotate and stuff too. So it's like, you do it all, so you know what it's like on that shift and why I don't know. But a lot of it, there's a lot of this like stuff that you see, and it's starting to see it, but it's just a matter of the fact that they're young, right? And they haven't had a lot of experience working in a professional world with a chain of command. You know what I mean? And you see a lot. I haven't seen it really yet, but you see it on like the OG all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I think it was really cool that when we had our interview with Pamela, she brought up, you know, I think everyone needs to work in this sort of business and like go out and learn how to
encourage her kid to do that. Yeah. Speaking of, you guys, this episode is in production, but we had opportunity to sit down with a past charter guest who's done charters on the OG and Mediterranean, and has a fucking fantastic story about meeting her husband vis-a-vis these charters.
Yes.
So we got to sit down with her. It was like an hour and a half. It was great. That's in production right now, so it should be out soon. Anyway.
Yeah. Super exciting. Right. Okay.
We got all kinds of insider information and all kinds of fun stuff.
So while the crew was eating dinner, Chase asked if it was rude of him to go check on the hot tub or whatnot. So he goes up there and it's cold. And I guess everyone is blaming him for that. Maybe it was his job to check on that. I don't know.
Well, what I gathered from it was, so he ran up and he's like, okay, it's cold. So he turned on the water, because you have to drain the cold water and then fill it up with only hot water or whatever. And so he went and he did what he thought needed to be done. And then when Gary went up later to check it, he had it. Chase hadn't done what he was supposed to do. He had done, he supposed to have it on hot water only, and he had like both or something on. I'm not.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Sure, but it was something along those lines. And so he was like, but Gary's issue with it started with prior to Chase even coming back up on deck, because he was like, hey, Chase, come here. Come up to the hot tub. Oh, no, it's good. I know. I know what I'm doing. Da, 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 you know. And he finally got him up and told him. And it's just such a weird dynamic, because it's like, why are you saying that? You seem like eager, go-getter, wants to learn, like, type
maybe
of guy.
If he's like, ADD like me, maybe he really thought he did it. Like, sometimes I really think I do. But then
he also needs to think that, oh, I thought I did it, but he's telling me I didn't. Let me go up there. And either way, your superior calling you up there. You go up there.
Exactly. I think he just needs
some deckhand, bub.
If it was Captain Lee, he would have gotten scolded in his very low tone, like way. I think he'll be humbled. I feel like he's going to work out. I think he will. I have a feeling.
Yeah, he seems like a genuine, like, eager beaver type, you know?
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, you know, it didn't seem like he thought he was being rude or that Gary was being rude. He was just like, oh, yeah, no, I did it. So, like, maybe it didn't come across as being like, oh, I did it already. Like, you know, it wasn't like that. It was just, oh, yeah, I did it. Okay, cool. You know, just as a matter of fact. But Gary's like, no, come up here so I can show you how to do it right. And Gary's already coming in and pissed off.
Yeah.
Because the crew's already bonded and everything without him. And now he has to come in and undo what was done and try to fix everything while it's going. But all that said, with Colin's MacGyvering of the engine and the weather that they got some those really great sailing in, which was really great. So that, like, this charter is just going magnificently, which of course means the next episode we're going to see the rest of the charter fall to shit or something.
And you know what's different too is
no one ordered an espresso martini.
That, and the food has been coming out amazing. Yeah. Like, and she's getting along with everybody. Nobody's saying any bad things about her yet. So
there's no issues. Yeah.
No, she seems like a sweetheart.
Kind of reminds me of Marco from.
Oh my God, I'm just watching that season.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He could cook for me anytime.
Forget cooking. I'll cook for you, sweetheart. You just sit down. I'll do whatever you want. No, I'm kidding. But he is hot. That is my type, Katrina.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know what your type is. We could ask him to come in from the other.
No. Stop.
Y'all, Lexi's got some stories to tell.
No, I don't.
Lexi had a birthday last week.
I did. It was fun. 38, feeling great.
38, feeling great.
That's what I tell myself every day when I get up now.
Well, I'm 48, so
there you go.
What are you gonna do? 48 and feeling great. That doesn't rhyme as much as 38 and feeling great. I don't know.
I was trying to think of something funny, but nothing came to mind.
48, you gotta appreciate. No.
There you go. I was thinking like 48 mate, like how like the boat. 48 mate with an accent. I was like, that's not funny, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Well, I know what's wrong with you. Anyway. Yeah, so like then the next morning. Oh wait, I mean, what else do we have?
No, I mean, that was it. Like, then we see Gary talking shit about Chase and Captain Glenn complaining, saying he has to do everything. I guess he was redoing stuff. And I think that was like the end of the episode. That was pretty much it. Nothing too crazy.
We'll be right back.
And now back to the show.
Yeah, like you do see Glenn and Gary kind of nitpicking, going, oh, like this didn't get clean. This isn't kind of, like, so they're starting to go, okay, they can figure out where, the weaknesses of the deck team and stuff. But it looks like, the personalities are starting.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say, ta-ta T-Mobile, our home internet is just plain better. More reliable and faster because we put internet first. If there's network congestion, we won't slow your internet down like T-Mobile does to help their cell customers. And right now, you can try out a true internet experience with BreezeLine's reliable and fast fiber-powered home internet. Find your perfect speed with prices starting at $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
To come out a little bit. Hey, you guys, you know that I love my Nutrafol. I've been taking it for a long time, and I'm going to continue to take it for a long time because I, like millions of Americans, experience thinning hair. It's more than common. It's normal, but it's not openly talked about, especially among women. Going through it can be lonely and frustrating, and it's time to change that conversation and join the thousands of women like me who are standing up for their strands with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and metabolism through a whole body health. Nutrafol has 3 unique formulas to support women throughout all stages of life, including postpartum and menopause. Each formula is physician formulated using natural, drug-free, medical-grade ingredients in consistently effective dosages so that you get the most reliable results. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. Over 3,000 top doctors and stylists recommend Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code FRAUD to save $10 off your first month subscription. This offer is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, you get free shipping on every order. Get $10 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, with the promo code FRAUD. This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime this spring by delivering pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-prepare recipes right to your door. Skip the checkout lines and get outside in the warmer weather because HelloFresh has your dinner covered. April is Earth Month, and HelloFresh is always committed to a cleaner planet. On average, HelloFresh meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint than the same meals made from supermarket ingredients. Plus, nearly all of HelloFresh's packaging materials are curbside recyclable in most areas of the United States. Good food is too precious to waste. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients cut down on your food waste by at least 23% compared to grocery shopping, which is good for your wallet and the planet. Personally, we use HelloFresh nearly every single night for dinner at our house. There is just so much going on at Casa Defrauded. with everybody's schedules and hetero life mate working weird hours because of his weird work schedule and school and activities and things like that. Having the HelloFresh box and ingredients is so easy. I can just pull a meat out of the freezer in the morning and then pull a bag out in the afternoon, evening, and just whip up that meal. It's super easy, super tastes good. We love them. We use them all the time. And you can too. You go to hellofresh.com/fraudcast50 and use code fraudcast50 for 50% off, plus your first box ships free. That's hellofresh.com/fraudcast50. If you use code fraudcast50, you get 50% off, plus your first box ships free. More, the guys are starting to talk about, oh, who do you like? Oh, they like Mads, and does anybody like Lucy or, Daisy? And we see, like, I think that the Daisy, Colin, Gary love triangle starting.
I'm excited to see that because Colin's been in a relationship and now he's single. And at first I didn't find him like super attractive, but now I'm looking at him, I'm like, wow, he's pretty hot. He's
mine. I told you this last week.
Yeah, I know, but once he fixed that engine, I was like, you just revved up my engine. Like, okay, you are a fine man. What was I like?
You can fix my engine anytime. You can bypass my router box.
You can blow out the water, and
you can blow out the water in my gearbox anytime.
Oh my god.
Oh, I guess this is appropriate for Wet Wednesday.
Wet Wednesday. You said it before I did.
Woo, 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 Wet Wednesday. So we don't get a lot of substance on this episode. It's kind of like a filler bridge episode of like, we're starting to see more of the personality. Everybody's okay, this is where we're going with this. So Alex, we haven't gotten much from, other than the kissing and drunk. Everybody's drunk, everybody's basically single. So
this is going to be a very big party charter.
A lot of sex is going to be had.
I can already tell. Do you think anybody's going to get fired? I don't think so.
I don't know that anybody's going to get fired.
Because I just watched like Glenn fire a man on season 2. I forgot his name already. He was so insignificant.
Yeah.
But I was like, is he going to fire somebody?
I think you asked me that too. We were talking about it. You were like, does he fire people the way that Captain Lee fires people? And I said, I think just one.
So the way Captain Lee fires people is like, when your parents, they don't tell you that, like, they say they're disappointed in you. Like, they're not mad, they're disappointed. I feel like that's how Captain Lee is. He's just like so matter of fact. And like, I don't know, like I would be, if Captain Lee fired me, I would be just so mortified and upset at myself because I feel like he's such a good dude and a nice guy, like with, a little bit of attitude, but he expects a lot. It would break my heart. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like disappointing dad. Like, you just want to, but I would want to do good. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, though. Watching this stuff, right? I always put myself in these scenarios, right? Like what would I have been like? And I would think back to myself like at camp, I was, the drunk person trying to sleep with whoever, whatever. I don't know. But seeing it, the young people and everything, it's almost cringeworthy because it makes me remember like my college years and learning at those jobs and all of that stuff. And then of course, all of their drinking and everything. I'm like, I'm really glad I'm sober now,
Yeah.
Because that was just like, it was just,
to be in your 20s, young and single.
And doing that. Days. Yeah. Could you imagine doing it on a ship,
oh my God.
In the middle of out in the oceans off Italy? I mean,
I would have been happy if I actually survived. Like if I didn't disappear. Be like, where's Alexis? She's in Spain running around. She'll be back maybe by the next charter. I don't know.
It's amazing we didn't disappear more back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, when I lived in Spain, like we would party so hard that when we would leave the club, because Spaniards, they stay up all night. Like they don't mess around. Like us Americans go to bed by like 2 or 3. And like
Fansies.
my friend Beth and I would leave like the nightclubs there, and we would open the door and it would just like the light would hit us. And it was like 7 a.m. We had to be in class in an hour. We're like completely wasted. Oh, I'm like, don't throw up in class. Don't throw up in class. Ay, Dios mío.
But yet, I mean, that's what you're, so you're supposed to do when you're young, right?
Exactly.
Go out and experience things and do things. And I mean, it doesn't have to involve alcohol to the extent that these people drink. You can certainly, I certainly have concern for some of the people on the ship, just because of their behaviors.
Yeah.
Not that getting excessively drunk in and of itself, on a night off like that's not telling. It's all of the other behavior type stuff.
Yeah, like the one guy that Captain Glenn fired that poured the bottle of liquor on that girl's head and was like in her face. I was like, this is not okay. This is not okay behavior.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. And then you're in a close quarters with someone like that. Terrifying.
Yeah. Is that the one where
he was like from England? He slept with that girl. Then she was flirting with Gary. Go figure.
Oh, right. Like, and then she went back to
flirting with Gary.
She slept with Gary. Then she went back to. That's the one who sexually assaults Gary.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Which one? I'm so confused now. But I was watching one where one guy was drunk and getting belligerent, and like threatening the others. That might have been the Norwegian that I'm watching.
Oh.
There's a guy that was just being drunk. Yeah. I think it was the Norwegian one. So like 4 episodes in, this guy's getting fired because he's drunk and stupid, and he's a drunk redneck, right? Like you'd think Chase is being redneck. No, this guy is like really, I mean, he talks about all the redneck things that he does, and apparently threatening to hit people and get in fights, or you want to tussle. He was threatening his roommate. He was like, come in here and let's tussle, and be over, because the guy woke up and he was like, hey, you're still not flushing the goddamn toilet. Well, he didn't even say it like that. He said it nicely, because this guy wasn't flushing the toilet after using it.
That's so gross. Flush the toilet.
He's like, flush or piss. And the guy's like, hey, I don't appreciate being talked to that way first thing in the morning. Be nicer. Like, which always gets me, because I'm like, shut the fuck up, be nicer.
Right.
It gets a whole lot of whatever. That's a you problem. But then he's like, you want to tussle? So he was like threatening to fight him, and Captain Carey kicked him off the boat. So,
good God.
Yeah. But it's really pretty, because they're up in Norway.
I can imagine.
Like, I wouldn't do it. But then they're sitting on like the decks of the boat, and they're like in jackets and stuff, because you're not going out sunbathing there,
right?
But there's some really cool things, like adventures that they do, like go into these caves and
oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, some really cool things. Zip lining, I think there's a zip line maybe up there somewhere in the mountains. I don't know, a lot of stuff. In any case, that's really it. There's no sense of prolonging the episode just to hear us talk. That was really all that we got in this episode. So we're setting things up for like this full season of everything. They're just like, I think they're just loading up all of the dynamics, and they're like, okay, we have to set this, and then we have to set up this. And now that Gary's back, okay, when now we're going to start getting more and more stuff. So thanks.
I foresee a drunken crazy madness of a season.
Yep. They're all single. It's gonna be bad. There's lots of sex. There's gonna be so much chlamydia on that boat. What season was that where John Luke thought he had?
It was, I just watched it.
Where John Luke thought he had the
it was season 2.
Was that season 2?
Yeah.
Where he gets Danny pregnant on the boat. You get the below deck baby.
Yep. And then he basically like abandons it, I guess. I don't know.
Did you watch the reunion then, right?
Yeah, he was trying to, first of all, he could have made that reunion. He chose not to. he was saving face.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And,
absolutely. He was, yeah.
And then, of course, what he said to me didn't add up. I was somebody that's been in that position. I can only imagine the things that Kaya's father's saying, so I totally get it. But I think he's a little bit of a bitch for not showing him. A little bit. That's not a nice word, but I feel like he's just
it's not a nice thing.
A punk ass bitch for not showing up to the reunion. And like she said, she's like, well, I wish he was here. Danny was like, I wish he was here to say what he had to say.
Yeah.
Like, I have all the messages. Like, honey, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I'm sure you do too. I'm 100% team Danny there.
Yep.
Jean-Luc. And then
have you seen her baby?
His mom posting.
Yes, but have you seen the baby? She looks exactly like Jean-Luc.
Oh God, it is going to be
beautiful though.
That baby's going to be 8 feet tall.
She'll be a supermodel making millions of dollars.
She's going to be gorgeous. I mean,
she's absolutely gorgeous.
With that mix of coloring, Danny and him. Yeah, that's going to be gorgeous. That's a below deck baby that was unintended.
BDB. Hashtag BDB.
Hashtag BDB. That's the only one as far as I know, but I guess we'll find out. Oh no, I guess Kate just had her baby.
But we don't know the father. Like, does it count if the father's not on below deck or not?
Although there's speculation because she dated like Josiah or whatever the fuck his name was.
No idea who that is. Maybe
he's
I'm not there
on one
yet.
of the seasons of the OG. He's like, I don't remember.
Maybe he's in the last one she's on because I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah, maybe. She dated him for a while. Of course, she and Ben have been friends with benefits for years. So, that's my hope is that her baby daddy is Ben, who lives in the same building she does. And it was a drunken night where, that friend, right?
Yeah.
Like where it's just total friends with benefits and you're out, whatever, and you don't, pick up anything better. You come back and you call your booty call, right? Like, I feel like that's what they were. And then they had like, in between different other girlfriends and boyfriends, like, he was there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's who it is, but I guess it'll come out at some point.
It will.
It will. So, but anyway, Kate Chastain, we love you. I'm sure you have better things to do with your newborn than listen to our podcast, but we do love you, Kate. And we hope you and your baby are doing well. Anyway, that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, leave us a review, all that fun stuff. We will be back with more episodes soon. Bye.